Let me ask you a question. What if the way you're measuring your website's ROI is, well, completely broken? Today, we're going to dive into a new way of thinking, a framework that completely shifts the focus from those old vanity metrics to what actually drives revenue. It's called Decision Cycle Compression. I mean, that's pretty wild when you think about it, right? The entire world has changed, but so many of us are still using a playbook from over a decade ago for our most important digital asset. It's time to break out of that 2012 mindset, and that's exactly what we're here to do.
You see, for way too long, we've been asking the wrong questions. We've been treating our websites like they're just billboards, obsessing over traffic and lead counts, but they're not. They are buyer progress systems. This focus on just sheer volume has led to bloated pipelines and, let's be honest, a lot of wasted money. It is time to ask the question that really, truly matters. How can we make our best buyers move faster?
So, before we jump into the new model, let's just quickly look at the old ROI story. It's a tale most of us know by heart, filled with those familiar metrics that look good on a spreadsheet but often point us in the completely wrong direction. Yep, here they are, the usual suspects: traffic, leads, and cost per form fill. Now look, it's not that these numbers are useless. They're not. But relying only on them is like looking at a map of a cross-country road trip that only shows you the first mile. It tells you how you started, sure, but it leaves you totally in the dark about the entire rest of the journey. And that incomplete picture, it creates two really dangerous blind spots that can seriously stunt our growth. These are the hidden traps that make us put money in the wrong places and miss out on our biggest chances for real commercial impact. Okay, blind spot number one. We are obsessed with quantity over quality. We are so laser focused on how many that we completely forget to ask how fast. It's like judging a race by how many people showed up at the starting line instead of looking at who's actually making progress towards the finish. And this visual just nails it. That huge bar of 200 leads, man, that looks amazing on a dashboard, doesn't it? But what if they're just passive browsers who are going to need months of nurturing? Now, look at that shorter bar, 50 high-quality leads who are ready for a serious chat in 2 weeks. Which one is actually going to make you money? Volume might feel good, but velocity is what pays the bills. And our second blind spot, wow, this one's even more obvious once you see it. We celebrate a form submission like it's the finish line. In reality, it's just the starting gun. We package up these leads, toss them over the wall to sales, and then we just wash our hands of it, totally blind to what happens next. This really shows you how absurd our current tracking is. We track every single click, every visit with incredible detail. But the second a lead is generated, poof, we're left with this giant question mark. We give all the credit for what happens next to sales. But what if the website was the real hero that got them 90% of the way there? Our whole model for attribution is just broken. All right, so now that we've kind of picked apart the old broken model, it's time to build a better one. This is where we completely redefine what our websites are for and introduce a much more powerful way to measure their true value. This is the big pivot. What if, instead of asking, how many leads did we get, we started asking, how much faster are we making things? How much faster is a qualified buyer moving from, I have a problem, to let's have a serious talk, specifically because of what our website did for them? So our new North Star, our key metric, is buyer progress speed. And listen, this isn't just another piece of marketing jargon, it is a direct line to your bottom line. When we start measuring how our website impacts the length of the sales cycle and revenue per sales hour, we can finally show its true financial contribution. And the system for doing all this? It's called Decision Cycle Compression. This is the framework that takes this big idea of buyer progress speed out of the clouds and makes it something you can actually measure, you can manage, and you can improve. Think of it as the engine for your new and improved ROI story. So, what do you get for adopting this new framework? What's the payoff? Well, this isn't just some theory, it's a super practical approach that delivers 4 tangible, game-changing commercial benefits. Okay, first up, shorter sales cycles. Just imagine your sales team talking to buyers who are already educated and ready to go. Next, you get higher conversion rates. When you remove all that friction, you're going to see more of the right people moving forward. Then, a lower cost per qualified conversation. You get way more bang for your buck from the traffic you already have. And finally, a much better pipeline. Your website becomes this powerful filter, making sure only the best fit buyers ever even get to your sales team. And all of this happens because of one simple shift in focus, from volume to velocity. And hey, as if all those benefits weren't enough, there's another layer to this whole story that makes decision cycle compression absolutely essential right now. And I'm talking, of course, about the rise of AI, which has basically thrown out the old rulebook.
The buyer's journey has been completely rerouted. You see, instead of starting on Google, a lot of your customers are getting their first briefing from an AI. This means they land on your site already armed with ideas and expectations. Your website's new job is to be the expert in the room, the guide that takes them from that initial AI-driven curiosity to a real, meaningful conversation with a person. This new reality creates this incredibly powerful ROI chain, and it all begins with something called betweener engineering. The easiest way to think about it is like SEO, but for AI. It's the work you do to make sure that when AI systems are talking about your company and your solutions, they're getting the story right. And if you get that right, you'll see this amazing cascade of benefits. Better informed buyers, much smoother sales calls, shorter sales cycles, and yeah, ultimately, more revenue.
Okay, so this all probably sounds pretty good, but you might be thinking, where do I even start? How do you actually take this framework and apply it to your business? Well, the first step is to ask one simple but really powerful question. So I really want you to ask yourself this one critical thing. Where is our buyer's journey losing momentum? We all have them. These little points of friction in our funnels, these hidden roadblocks that make even the most interested buyers just stall out. And the first step to fixing the problem is just finding out where it is. And that's exactly where something like the Decision Cycle Compression Diagnostic comes into play. It's basically your roadmap to a faster, more efficient buyer's journey. By mapping out your current process, by identifying those hidden friction points, you can finally start optimizing for what actually matters: speed. It is time to stop chasing those old vanity metrics and start building a website that's a true engine for your company's growth.